What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Strung Out. And we're going back to the 1996 album Suburban Teenage Wasteland Blues. Once again, big shout out to Paulie. And we're up to the tune Monster. Another single word title. It's one which suggests something that is grotesque or dangerous or scary in some way. This could be a more literal description of someone's behavior. It could be more conceptual in terms of understanding someone's life trajectory and where it might lead them. It could be a predatory monster, someone who is awful to other people. It could be a monster in terms of, destroying one's own life. I feel like there's some different avenues that suggest themselves with this title, and yet none of them are particularly happy or pleasant or heartwarming. So let's find out what the monster is. This is Strung Out. The tune is Monster, and it's from the 1996 album Suburban Teenage Wasteland Blues.
Habit makes you old, experience makes you wise. You're only a fool who judges life by what he sees in other people's eyes. The decisions that you cast at the outcome of your game, and the only person's gonna think about you is the one that's standing in your shoes.
Come on. I had no clue what would happen there. A number of their tunes, I've gotten a sense for those stop-start moments that they do. There's some in the measure or in the chorus moments where they're sort of chopping in and out. But as that track unfolded, I really didn't know when it was going to end or if there was just going to be another kickoff. So it had me on the edge of my seat, that one. I didn't catch all the lines, but I was sort of hyper-focused on the lyrics in that one, and I was trying to catch as much as I could. And it did seem like he was saying, he doesn't know where he's going to end up, and ultimately, I think there was a line about, he was maybe worried about, hurting himself. So it does sound like maybe it's monster in regard to one's own behavior, maybe. But yeah, ultimately it sounds like, there was thoughts about the passage of time, even if it wasn't looking at the passage of years. It was the idea that, I'm not just here now, where am I going and what does maybe my behavior have to do with that? So yeah, not quite sure thematically, even though I did catch some lines, but another thrashing tune and another track where they their ability to shift tempos, even though, it's going from fast to faster, not from slow to fast. But yeah, their ability to shift tempos, to stop on a dime, and to generally just introduce that a bit of metal feeling to their punk rock is definitely something that I picked up on. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some other groups I listen to that have some metal influence, Propaganda post Todd coming into the group, I would say, has definitely become more of like a metal punk synthesis. Certainly in some songs, especially the ones where Todd sings, as a matter of fact. But yeah, generally speaking, that's one of the things that I had heard about this group, but my knowledge of that in terms of hearing their music was only limited to not even a full album. Again, as I'm thinking about Twisted by Design, it'll be great to get back to that one because I know a couple tunes, but I think most of the album will not be as familiar to me as maybe, again, Too Close to See and Matchbook are the two I remember listening to a lot. So yeah, my understanding of exactly what it means to say that they're a metal-influenced punk band has continued to grow as I've gone through this deep dive. So once again, big shout out to Paulie for sending me the Volume 1 compilation, which we're going through the second of, like, technically, like, 4 albums, right? It's like 3 albums, but then there's the Skinny Years Before We Got Fat on the same day as, or on the same disc as Another Day in Paradise. So again, when we go through to the end of this chronology from Volume 1, then we'll jump back and we'll listen to the Skinny Years. So, in any case, big shout out to Paulie again. Do let me know what you think of this one. I will see you next time. Peace.